Hi guys, welcome. And who dat? I'm Joe, and today we're going to be talking about the Week 5 upcoming matchup, Monday Night Football between the world champion Kansas City Chiefs and the visiting team, our beloved, bless you boys, in black and gold, the New Orleans Saints. All right, so really the biggest question for the game would be injuries. How are we going to look? We're still fluctuating here as a fan base, trying to figure out what kind of team we have. I've said several times we probably won't know till after week 8. So let's look at the roster right now for the Saints and see what we are dealing with heading into this awesome Monday Night Football contest. Here's the offense first. And we figured it out. So Shane Lemieux ended up being our center for this past weekend. And we kept Lucas Patrick at left guard. And to take Cesar Ruiz's place at right guard, we started Landon Young. And I kind of figured this would be what we would do if Patrick didn't stay at center. Patrick was at center through the remainder of the game in week 3. And I had a feeling we would just go ahead and start him at center. I thought having a backup center was pretty important. And at the time, taking Patrick from left guard and putting him at center was a mistake. We should have had somebody else come in so Patrick could stay where he was performing so well at left guard. It was a cluster F against the Eagles, but they figured it out and got a good game plan going for last week against Atlanta. I thought the offensive line held up okay, especially for two guys in Shane Lemieux and Landon Young who had never started an NFL game at center and right guard, respectively. So as far as injuries go for the offense, right now, all I have is the injury report from Thursday. I'm recording this video Friday early, so not quite sure where things stand at this point or where they'll stand for the game. But as far as Thursday goes, on offense, Taysom Hill did not participate in practice again, except it's a rib this time. It was a chest before. Hill did not participate. Cesar Ruiz at right guard did not participate in practice with the knee injury. And Shane Lemieux, the guy that we just brought up and put at center, he did not participate on Thursday's practice due to an ankle injury. So that's where you stand on the offense for do not participates. So if Cesar Ruiz can't go again, I'm assuming we'll just keep Landon Young there. If Taysom Hill can't go, we're going to have a serious issue. I'm looking at what this offense did against Philadelphia without Taysom Hill. It was a struggle. It was a big struggle for a lot of the game last weekend too. Once Hill went out, but this offense did show an ability to score late in the game. They did it in week 3. They did it in week 4, and I gotta hope that our coaches have figured something out. We're getting better at this. Our game plan with a bad offensive line could work, and the offense could be successful, even though, we're strapped right now. It seems like without Taysom Hill, you've got Alvin Kamara running around, limping around, even though he was a limited participant in practice. A.T. Perry was limited. Talise Fuanga was limited with his back issue again. Juwan Johnson was limited with a forearm. Kendre Miller is back at practice, but he is not officially on the roster yet. He's still on IR and he's working his way back. The Saints did move away from Jacob Kibodi on the practice squad. We've released Kibodi and we re-signed Jermaine Jackson, a wide receiver who's a kick and punt returner. So since we let Cabote go off the practice squad, I'm assuming Kendre Miller is going to eventually be activated. Now, when that happens on this roster, I'm not sure who we get rid of. Probably Jordan Mims. Probably. Also, Chris Olave and Cedric Wilson, were both limited in practice last week before the game, and Olave ended up playing in the game. Well, both of them were full participants in practice Thursday. Okay, that's the offense. Now let's look at what the defense is going to look like going into this weekend. And right now, the injury report for Thursday, Willie Gay did not participate. Peyton Turner did not participate. He has a knee. So those are the two defenders that did not participate. Peyton Turner with a knee. Not sure what the extent of that is or when it actually happened. Turner was the only defensive lineman to get a sack last week against Atlanta's backups and a statue quarterback. So either way, I'm used to Turner missing games. Not sure if he'll play this weekend or not, but he did not participate Thursday. Limited in practice. Actually, we saw Demario Davis come back to practice. He missed last week. He was limited in practice Thursday. So it's trending that Demario Davis will be back. Brian Bresee was a limited participant with an ankle injury. And after that, that's it. So Willie Gay didn't practice. Brian Bresee was limited. Peyton Turner didn't practice. Demario Davis was limited. Other than that, that is your defense right there. I'm very upset about how the defensive line performed against Atlanta. Was not good enough. I'm excited about how the linebackers played. We're missing Davis, and then we're missing Gay right when the game starts. He gets hurt. And so we play most of the game with Pete Werner and DeMarco Jackson running around out there. Anthony Orgy's a good spot player. So I'm happy with the depth at linebacker. At DB, it's hot and cold with Paulson Adebo. You get interceptions, you get passes defended, and you also get a guy that panics at the top of the route and likes to pull and grab when someone gets behind him. Paulson Adebo's not the fastest cornerback in the league. So I think that's why he likes to pull and tug so much. When he knows he's beat, he'd rather just get a penalty than give up a catch. Give up the catch, the guy might drop the ball. Yeah, he might catch a touchdown too. I don't know. I don't know how to feel about Paulson Adebo right now. I thought for sure he would demand $20 million after this year and that somebody was going to pay it to him. But I don't think it's going to be the Saints. And I don't know if anybody else wants to pay for a guy that gets penalized all the time. Hopefully, whoever Paulson Adebo's agent is realizes this. So, yeah, I don't know what we're going to do with Adebo. All right, that's the defense. As far as the game goes, last I checked, the Chiefs were a 5.5 point favorite. The over under was 42.5, something like that. So the league is pretty much thinking the Chiefs are going to win 22-18, 23-18, maybe 23-17, something like that. I worry about the Chiefs defense. Spagnuolo was a defensive coach for us, and I didn't like him. He didn't perform when he was with us. He's performing with the Chiefs. Their defense is a big reason why they make it to the Super Bowl every year. Two-time defending champs. They're struggling a little bit. They're having uh, close games every game they play. People consider them the defending champions. And so you might think they're just going to go out there and blow teams away, and they're not. But what they are doing is finding a way to win. That's something Atlanta did last weekend against us. That's something Atlanta did last night against the Buccaneers. They missed a couple of field goals, but they found a way to win in the end, just like they did against us. and Tampa Bay takes an L. And right now we're in a weird spot in the division. We've got our whole future ahead of us, and it really, really, really counts. These divisional games count. Losing to Atlanta is a bummer. Losing to Tampa Bay next weekend would be a bummer. Losing to the Chiefs this weekend wouldn't hurt the Saints as much as losing last week or losing next week. But the Chiefs are a nice staple to look and see. How good are you? If we can go into Kansas City and beat the Chiefs, people are going to say naturally that the Chiefs aren't as good as we thought they are. But we as a team can feel like, well, we're pretty good. So we haven't gotten blown out yet. So we're in that camp. We just have to find a way to win. So can we go to KC and find a way to win? I don't know. I don't like to pick against the Saints, but I've picked the Saints for the last 2 weeks, and it was wrong. I look at what the Saints are dealing with injuries, especially if Taysom Hill's not in the package. And I got to see a little more from our offense as far as creativity goes. Our offense did well last week. We did well enough to win for sure if the defense would have held up their end. Defense did well enough for us to win. It's just you give up a couple of things. Offense makes two mistakes, or offense makes one mistake, turn the ball over once. Special teams makes one mistake, turn the ball over once. Defense makes one big mistake. They have a penalty that gives up a big play, puts them in field goal range. So every aspect of our team did well last week if they can avoid one big mistake, right? This team's going to make mistakes. I'm sure Kansas City's going to make mistakes. It all comes down to who has the ability to finish the game. And right now, the Chiefs demonstrate that, and the Saints, when behind, has demonstrated they can catch up, but they just haven't finished yet. So, what am I doing? Whew. I'm going to go ahead and be pretty close to Vegas here. I'm going to pick the Chiefs to win. Final score Kansas City 23, the Saints 20. And if the Saints are a good enough team to finish, to find a way to win and to finish, then they won't lose by 3 points. They'll find a way to tie that game up, go into overtime. They'll find a way to get a score and win that game. And if the Saints can do that against the defending Super Bowl champions, then they'll prove to me that they have some moxie, that they have some finish. They're competitive and they're close. And it's real easy to just say you eliminate three mistakes and you win the game. It's easy to make a mistake. One mistake at the worst time. And, I don't want to damn the whole team because of it. But there's a lot of issues here. And right now, I would say the Saints are probably in the top 15 in the league because we're pretty competitive right now. So let's see if we can get better than 15th best in the league. Let's see if we can do better than 2-2. Let's see if we can compete against a really good team like the Chiefs. And that's all I got for you. I'm Joe. Subscribe to Rosenfield 10 for more videos about our beloved Saints. I will be doing a review and reaction to this game after the game's completion on Monday night. You'll probably get that video on Tuesday. And until the next one, I'll talk to you later. Subscribe to the channel, like the channel, share if you want. I'm your friend, I'm your coworker who loves to talk about the Saints, and I'll give you a little bit to look on and to chew on. And let me know in the comments what you think. Here's to our Saints beating the Super Bowl champions and getting back into the winning column. Talk to you later. Who dat?